Ecuadorian Congress has passed legislation that affirms citizens' constitutional right to nonviolent protest and to exercise freely their freedom of expression. Now, the vote took place on Tuesday evening and comes in the face of mobilizations called by the country's conservative opposition, which have turned violent in recent weeks. The resolution also includes a call to dialogue regarding a number of issues currently being debated in the country, such as legislation designed to improve wealth distribution in Ecuador.
We hope that this national dialogue, which has seen the participation of all social sectors, continues to see the participation of the political parties and social movements in our country.
And now we're going to turn live to Liz Scherfia. She is in Ecuador to talk more about this resolution. Liz, to start, why don't you give us an overview of this new measure by the nation's Congress, and what's its significance following those mobilizations and those protests, much of them violent, by the political opposition that we have been seeing over the past few months?
Yes, that's right, Cody. The opposition continues refusing to enter this national debate on wealth redistribution called the National Dialogue for Equality and Social Justice. But the national government is continuing its efforts to include increasingly more sectors of society in these debates. Now the legislative branch is joining the executive branch in promoting these debates. The National Assembly is comprised of 12 different commissions which are charged with different aspects of promoting social justice throughout the country. They will be traveling across Ecuador's 23 provinces to promote these dialogues. President of the National Assembly, Gabriela Rivadeneira, has said that each commission will be charged with different topics. She gave the example of the Commission for Food Sovereignty, which will be charged with issues such as access to land and water and democratizing access to the means of production. This debate, these dialogues by the National Assembly, will continue through December, when these results will be presented, and it is planned that proposals which come from these dialogues will be included in the agenda for the National Assembly for 2016. In addition to this, President of the National Assembly, Gabriela Rivadeneira, said that they will also be joining the National Secretary for Planning and Development in promoting these dialogues. National Secretary for Planning and Development, Pavel Munoz, announced that these dialogues will be divided into 9 zones throughout the country. And these dialogues, which are primarily focused on wealth redistribution, but also seeking the input of citizens as to how they see the state of the citizens' revolution, will continue until September 15th, when final results will be presented to the public. So yes, as the opposition continues protesting and planning future actions, the government is putting forward increasingly more dialogues and encouraging the participation of more sectors of society.
And some of those opposition political parties, Liz, and groups, they are just refusing to take part in the dialogue. Some organizations have went even further, and they have called for some type of uprising against the government. So the question here is, why not talk? Why not sit down, have a dialogue with the government instead of violent actions in the streets or those types of measures? And how is the government responding to that attitude by some sectors of the opposition?
Yes, Cody, that is right. The National Confederation of Indigenous Nationalities of Ecuador has announced that they are planning for an uprising to take place on August 10th, and that they will be joining the national strike organized by trade unionists and various members of the opposition for August 13th. The national government has said that they respect the right of the opposition to protest peacefully in the country, but have denounced violent actions which have taken place in the past month. So yes, as the opposition is continuing to plan these actions, the national government is encouraging their participation in the national dialogues. CONAI has said that they will not be participating in these dialogues because they feel that it is too late to discuss their concerns with the national government. CONAI has various demands, such as they would like for the wealth redistribution bills to be permanently discarded, as well as the land and water laws, and have said that Indigenous leaders who refuse to participate in their uprising will be sanctioned. Now, other Indigenous organizations, many Indigenous organizations, are rejecting this call for the national uprising of Konai. Finocene is one example of an Indigenous organization which will not be participating in this uprising, and who has participated in the national dialogue and have already met with Minister Ricardo Patiño to discuss their concerns. Leaders of Finocene have also said that they're planning to organize a national assembly of Indigenous nationalities to discuss their concerns, as well as how they would like to see the future of the country. So yes, as the national government is reaching out to increasingly more sectors, going into various neighborhoods, cities throughout the country, the opposition continues protesting and is planning for this national strike and uprising, Cody.
All right, Liz Sherfius reporting now from Quito, Ecuador. Liz, thanks so much. Have a great day.